I'm getting excited. I can smell the next round of stimulus checks. Let me tell you exactly what I'm looking at. But hey everybody, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. Your underdog advocate is back at it once again to keep you updated with everything going on. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I am back every single day to keep you updated. Thanks again, I truly appreciate it. Let's get into this as we start to see the stage being set for the next round of stimulus checks. There's a lot going on right now. Let me talk you through my list. So now item number 1 on my list, I've actually talked about it in my last couple videos, but it's on the list, so let me run through it really quickly. As it currently looks, it appears that Democrats are going to be passing through the next 2 infrastructure packages with budget reconciliation, as it looks like they're probably not going to come together on a bipartisan basis. With that being said, Democrats are very much in favor of more stimulus checks. As we currently know, there are those 2 proposals on the table right now, offering stimulus checks plus monthly stimulus checks, as are supported by people in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Across the board, there are a bunch of different people supporting these. That is number 1. Next on my list, we don't talk about this all that much here on the channel. However, I do talk about it sometimes, and I've actually been talking about this for the last few months now, the stock market. Let me talk you through what I'm looking at. Well, think back to early 2020. If you don't watch the market, you probably heard about it. Basically, the market was going up and up and up, and all of a sudden, it topped out, rolled over, and it absolutely collapsed by about 40% over the course of about 1 month. Well, we're basically in that same position right now. The market has been doing the exact same thing for basically the last year, going up almost every single day. It is absolutely ridiculous. Well, over the last few days here, the market is getting absolutely spanked, and it's awesome. I love watching this. This is so cool. But anyway, I'm very fascinated by the market. By the way, I watch it very closely every single day. But either way, the market is getting spanked right now in a pretty good way. My point is, we may be on the cusp of another massive move lower. If that happens, sit back and watch as the floodgates are going to open and there's going to be tons of stimulus approved at that time. This is exactly what happened in early 2020. The market rolled over. It was heading straight down every single day by a lot, like quite a few percent every single day. It was moving lower. And all of a sudden, in record speed, Congress came together and passed that $2.2 trillion stimulus package, which contained the first round of stimulus checks, the $1,200. If that happens again with the market, which the market will collapse once again at some point, whenever that happens, when it does, provided it's sometime within, relatively near future, if that happens, you better believe they're going to be back out once again approving all kinds of stimulus. All right, next on my list, all of the people coming out right now talking about this terrible jobs market, the economy that's not doing so well, which is kind of funny because seriously, like over the last however many months now, we've been hearing all these reports, oh, the economy is booming, the job market is going absolutely crazy. Well, then here over the last short period of time now, there's all these different people coming out saying the economy is not doing so well. The job market is not doing so well. So what is it? Seriously, what is it? On one hand, we have people telling us it's really good. On the other hand, we have people telling us it's really bad, including President Biden has been out a couple times lately saying that the economy is digging out of a very, very deep hole. At the same time, the Federal Reserve has been out talking about how assets, as in the stock market, are at potential risk of massive downside. In other words, they could collapse at any point. At the same time, the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, has also been out making statements on the jobs market and the economy not doing so hot, as well as so many other people making comments like, hey, it's really not doing so good, but let's pretend like it's really doing well. No, it's just not cutting it anymore because the numbers are telling us what the real market is doing. So, next on my list, It's a nice list. I've gone through a lot of things here, and seriously, it's like the stars are aligning. They're all coming together, and they're like all pointing in the same direction, saying, stimulus, please, stimulus checks for everybody. But seriously, I mean, all the signs are literally pointing to the next massive package that's going to be passed here. Anyway, the next one. How about all of these states that are starting to come out now saying that they're going to be canceling that federal boost for unemployment benefits, including Montana, South Carolina, Arkansas, Mississippi, the states that are coming out basically saying, hey, we're having labor shortages. We're looking for workers, and we can't seem to find the workers to fill all these jobs that are available. In fact, I saw a report earlier today. There's 8.1 million job openings in this country right now. 8.1 million job openings. So, whatever. I mean, that's just what's being reported. But either way, basically these people in these states, the governors of these states are saying, we can't find the workers to fill all these positions, so as a result, we're going to cancel their federal unemployment benefits. That's the $300 per week boost that they're getting from the federal government right now. Well, guess what? Some of these people who are unemployed are not unemployed simply because they don't want to go back to work. They're unemployed for other reasons. So what's going to happen in a month from now when their unemployment benefits end and they're relying on that money to all of a sudden cover all their bills, make ends meet, things like this? For some of those people who can't go back to work for many different reasons, all of a sudden their income has just been slashed to basically nothing. Then what? Well, it's going to put a bunch of people in a really bad position where they're like, hey, I'm really struggling here. You guys need to issue a stimulus check because we have tens of thousands or probably even millions of people who are all of a sudden literally just cut off simultaneously. So that's going to be another pretty bad situation here in about a month. Now, next on my list, of course, we'll have to watch that too if they actually cancel those benefits or what actually happens, but that's something else that's coming out. Next on my list, today, the CPI number was released. Now, again, don't worry about it that much. Let me just explain what this is. So the CPI is the Consumer Price Index. It's basically a measure of inflation. Well, we've talked about inflation here on the channel as well. We've talked about prices going up and up and up, and there's so many people, officials who say, oh, no, there's no inflation right now. And we say, yeah, bull, right? We go to the stores, we buy all this stuff, we see the prices. Our $100 bill just simply doesn't cut it anymore to buy all the necessities we need for, a week's worth of food or necessities, whatever it happens to be. Well, the CPI number came in this morning at 4.2% year over year. In fact, this is the fastest or biggest gain that it has had on a year-over-year basis since September of 2008. Well, like I said in my video earlier today, all of us remember what was going on in 2008. If you don't remember, let me remind you. The market and the economy were in a really, really, really bad position. The market was absolutely tanking at that time. So, wow. At the same time, the CPI number that was released this morning, they said that prices rose 0.8% in the month of April. So almost 1% prices rose across the board in just 1 month. By the way, back in March, prices rose by 0.6%. So yeah, we're seeing some massive inflation right now. Now I know you might be thinking, well, if they print up a bunch of money and send it out in the form of stimulus checks, wouldn't that just exacerbate the inflation and just make it even higher? Well, yes, it would, but at the same time, they need to do something to offset the inflation to help people out during this time right now because, what are you supposed to do? Inflation is running crazy right now. People aren't able to buy all the necessities that they need. What's a short-term fix? Yeah, give people some money to help cover the gap right now until they can get this thing hammered out and figure out how we're going to rein this thing in, right? So what they need to do is the Fed needs to stop printing a bunch of money and buying bonds is what they need to do. But anyway, that's a totally different topic. But anyway, this is my list that I've come up with, and don't get me wrong, there is definitely much more that we need to continue to be paying attention to, but these are massive catalysts right now that if any of these things were to kind of happen, essentially like if Democrats start moving forward with budget reconciliation, okay, it's pretty high likelihood. If the stock market rolls over, again, it's going to be a bad situation, and they're probably going to pump the thing full of stimulus. All these other statements and things coming out right now about the job market and inflation and unemployment benefits being canceled. I mean, it's like literally, like I said, it's like the stars are all aligning right now for the next massive push for stimulus and stimulus checks. So we will continue watching this. I will keep you posted as I always do. But man, it's kind of getting to be a little bit exciting right now, just kind of seeing all this stuff play out. I mean, it's like we're literally setting the perfect stage for the play we're about to all sit back and watch. I mean, we've seen it happen before. We basically all know what's going to happen, right? So anyway, I'll keep you posted with all this stuff. Very interesting. I'm your guy, your one and only daily advocate every single day. And we have our mascot, the underdog advocate, checking in as he sits right on my desk. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already, and check out any of my other videos here on the channel, as I have over 1,000, and feel free to share any of these videos with your friends, family, and social media. Thanks again, enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one.